ask you something honest. And I really want you to be honest with yourself, right? Man, look, the question is, when you slow down, do you feel peace? Or when you slow down, do you feel guilt? Which one is it? Man, don't scroll. Please don't scroll. Don't scroll up or down or go to the next video that's on your YouTube feed. Stay with me. Let's have a conversation about what makes you anxious. And look, if rest makes you anxious, then this conversation is for you. And I want you to stay with me for just a moment. Because sometimes the real problem isn't exhaustion. No. Sometimes the real problem is that you don't feel allowed to stop or to take a rest. And if you don't feel allowed to stop, you will rebuild your life from pressure, from a point of view of pressure, and not from peace. And you know what? Rebuilding your life, it actually needs you to rebuild it from a place of peace, from a place of saying, you know what? It's okay for me to stop doing what I've been doing. Because many of us, we were trained, not taught, but trained to earn our worth. You know, productivity means approval. They will only pat your back at home if you do something. If you don't do anything, or when you decide to rest, then it's a problem. Strength for you meant that you have to push through. You were not made to feel that, you know what, slowing down doesn't mean that I'm lazy. Instead, we were always meant to feel, I don't know about you, but I know how I grew up, you know. Every time or any time where I felt like, you know what, I just need to rest a bit, then you would hear it. Hey, you are lazy. Hey, these boys and whatnot. My dad used to love saying that. To say, man, if I'm just inside the house, maybe doing something, or I just want to rest, and I was working with him in the garage, whether we were fixing the car or we were doing whatever, he would come inside the house and say to my mom, yeah, you see these boys of yours, hey, the hands are not there. Because of, for him, always being busy meant that, yeah, then you showing your worth. You know, not sitting down or just taking a break even. It was seen as laziness. And that obviously will lead to only being praised when you achieve something, or only being seen even when you do something. You only get recognized when you are the strong one in the family. And these are the examples of showing you that, man, look, this is how we grew up. These are the things that were written. These are the programs that were written in our minds. That, look, the only time that you will get recognition, or the only time that you will be made to feel worthy of anything, is when you are strong for the family, when you are the one that's strong for the family, when you have achieved something. You know, being the one that carries the marriage emotionally. And after divorce, trying to prove to people that, no, I'm fine. Because you just don't want to stop. You don't want to rest and take stock. And at church, man, you're feeling like you are always the one that has to be on fire. You know, you feel like you are the one that you have to show that, no, man, the presence of God is here and I'm on fire. I just want to say, if you build identity around performance, then rest will make you look like you don't have value. Rest will make you feel like you're losing value. I'm telling you, because of your identity is wrapped around performance. You are just doing things for applause. You are just being there just to be recognized that, man, you are worthy of it. You are okay. You just put yourself on fire that we don't even know whether it's there or not at church, and you just want to be seen. If you were rewarded for over functioning, I'm going to tell you that, man, it's okay. Just slow down. At first, your slowing down will feel unsafe, but just know that it's your body telling you that we are not familiar with this. And for your body to tell you that you are not familiar with this doesn't mean that it's wrong to slow down. It's actually beneficial for you to slow down. It's beneficial for you to say, no, man, I just need to relax. I just need to stop performing. I just need to be the one person that's going to be there for me. I'm just gonna slow down and see how does it feel, and be okay with slowing down, and be okay with not doing anything. It might at first be for 30 minutes, or it might be for just an hour. Because guess what? When you don't stop, you don't just get tired, but you disconnect. You disconnect. And rebuilding needs you to be connected. It needs you to be connected with yourself. It needs you to be connected with your emotions. It needs you to be grounded to who you really are. Because you can't rebuild from a place of busyness, always performing and always doing whatever. No, your rebuild will collapse. It will definitely collapse, because rebuilding needs you to be stable. It needs you to take a back seat and say, hey, I just need to slow down. Not being able to slow down, it has its own cost. And I'm just going to list the costs for you, just for you to see that we all need to stop. And not only just to stop, but to stop and recollect and actually have a conversation, take stock with ourselves to see whether the things that I have been doing, whether they're working or not. Have a reflection, a self-reflection. Stand in a mirror and look and ask yourself questions to say, man, these things that I have been doing, are they helping me, or they are just taking me aback? But I can tell you now, busyness, it's not helping you. It is actually keeping you stuck. You are busy, but you can't even see what you're busy with. You keep on doing the same thing, hoping to get different results. And this is the cost of not stopping. Number one, it will give you emotional numbness. You will be numb when it comes to emotions. You stop feeling joy. You can't remember how it feels like to be happy. You don't know. You can't even laugh at times, because of laughter is part of joy. You can't laugh. You don't know how it is to feel joy anymore, because of you are always busy. You are always on the move. You've stopped feeling sadness. People are sad around you. Something sad has just happened, and all you do is, okay, what's next? How can I move on from here? You just function. You just like a robot, because of you don't stop to seize the moment. You don't stop to give what the moment deserves. If you're going through hurt, you don't even stop to feel that sadness. And you think that, no, by just moving on, by just numbing this pain, I'm going to be okay. Ask yourself, is this really the life that you want to live? If this is how you're going to go on without feelings, without allowing yourself to feel. I mean, you get good news to say, man, this such a thing has come through, or such a your daughter or your sister or anyone like that, they just got good news and they're sharing it with you, and you don't even know how to feel joy, because you have not allowed yourself to stop. Then you feel that emotional numbness. You are just functioning. You are just operating and not living. And the second one is you now become irritable and short-tempered. Because why? A tired system snaps easily. It snaps easily. Think about it this way, right? Let me make an example with a fan belt. We all know what's a fan belt, right? Immediately a fan belt is tired or it's worn out, it will snap at any time. And depending on the car that you drive, that fan belt will affect your alternator, it will affect your power steering, it will affect your water pump and all the other things when it snaps. And that's exactly how we are as people, because we don't like taking a back seat and sitting and chilling. We all want to be a solution to everybody's problem. You know, the other day I was telling my wife that, man, look, we just can't be a solution. We can't want to solve everything for everybody. We have to take a step back sometimes. You know, sometimes people must learn, or we must allow people, we must give people that grace to say, figure it out for yourself. Because of sometimes being always there, always being the one that solves people's problems or that helps people to just move them, you know, from this problem to the next phase of their lives. Sometimes we rob them of seeing their divine power within themselves because of we want to be there and to be an answer. And not stopping is exactly that. Exactly that, Uguti. You want to be everything to everybody. But when you take a seat back and you check, what is it that's irritating me actually? What is it that's making me to have a short temper about this? Am I tired? Do I feel exhausted? Have I rested? Because we don't believe in rest. We live in a generation that says, no, you gotta be up, do. Nobody's talking about rest. Nobody's talking about rest. And a tired system will always snap easily. That fan belt will just snap. And you'll find yourself being stuck without knowing what's making you stuck. Only to find that it's a matter of you resting. The third thing that is affected by never stopping, or that costs us a lot, is spiritual dryness, whereby prayer now feels mechanical. You know, prayer, you only pray when you need to fix something. Worship feels forced. You no longer worship because of you feel like worshiping. You're no longer praying. Like even when you pray, it's just a prayer of demand. You don't even have prayer of thanksgiving anymore because you are tired. Everything feels forced. Everything feels mechanical. The fourth one is relationship distance. You are physically present, but emotionally you are absent. You remember that song? I can't remember who sings it, but which group sings it. Your body is here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. Because even if you are sitting down and you are resting, you find yourself that no, you must be emotionally, you must be somewhere else. Emotionally, you are absent. Emotionally, you are saying, yo, I'm sitting down right now and I'm resting, instead of I could be doing this, I could be doing that. And that thing always, it always gets me, man. Because of, I always feel that, man, I might be behind. I think I'm behind because of I should be doing this with my time. I should be reading. I promised myself that I'm going to finish this book in 2 weeks and whatnot. And look at me, I'm just sitting and doing nothing. Because sometimes that thing that says, no, Tabo, You have to keep on moving. You have to be busy in order for you to get that reward. For you to say, I've been busy and yeah, I deserve this. My worth is wrapped around being busy. And now I become even emotionally absent because I am always running around. I am always chasing. I don't have time to just sit down and feel the emotions of the moment. Number 5 is burnout, where your body forces you to rest. It forces you to rest because of you've been refusing to rest. Either it will force you to rest by you falling ill, especially catching flu. That's your system, and that's God telling you that no, man, look, you've been too much busy. You've been running around and all of that. Just calm down. But when you know when to rest, illness and sickness doesn't come to you because of you know how to regulate your body. You know how to force your body to relax. Because flu, definitely, it's been scientifically proven that flu comes because of your body's trying to let you know to say, hey man, I'm tired. Let's get some rest. Because when you have flu, then you know definitely that you will be forced to stay at home. You'll be actually forced to stay in bed because of you don't want people to get irritated by your snifflings. You're always pulling mucus every time, coughing and all of that. That's your body telling you that no, we need to retreat. We need to retreat. We need to relax. Burnout is often delayed obedience to rest. That's it. If you are not obedient to what your body tells you, you will always be on the burnout. You'll always be running out of fuel. You will feel burned out. And the only way for you to recharge is just to stay still. It's just to be still and feel okay that I am now resting. We all know the scripture about creation, and we know that God rested on the 7th day, on the Sabbath day, after he made everything. He didn't rest because he was tired. No, he rested because completion requires pause. Once you complete something or once you achieve a certain goal, you need to rest and celebrate your creation. You need to take a pause so that you can look back and look at what God has brought you through and celebrate what you have just overcome. Because if you don't take a pause, then how do you scale whether you are doing okay or you're not doing okay? How do you see whether you're winning or you're not winning? Sabbath is not about rules. No, it's about rhythm. The rhythm that God created to say, you will work for 6 days, and then on the 7th day, it is by law that your body needs to relax. It is by rhythm that your body needs to relax. Not to shut down, not to burn out. No, not that. Think about it. For every time you are always busy without taking rest, what happens to your body? Sometimes your body trembles. You find yourself trembling and you don't understand what's happening because it's exhaustion. You are exhausted. You are outside the rhythm that God has created your body for. And Sabbath says to us, you are not God. No, you are not God. The world will continue without you in control. So take a backseat hanyani, take a chill pill, and be okay that no, I don't have to be everything. I don't have to be everywhere. This moment requires me to rest. This moment doesn't require me to be in control of everything. Because we have that in our hearts or in our nervous system to say, I want to be in control of everything. And you feel that if you are not in control of situations, if you are not in control of things at the office, if you're not in control of other things in your children's lives or in your partner's life, then no, man, nothing will go right. Everything will stop without you. No, the world will still continue without you being in control. Think about that. Take a pause and think about that. You know, there's a story. Yeah, I think I read it on the power of positive thinking. And this guy was a CEO and founder of a company. And his company was doing very well. But he wasn't taking the founder's seat, the founder's position. He was still an active CEO. And he was running everything still. Even though the company had been progressive or was successful, he was still running everything. The drivers, the cleaners, the finances, the you name it, sales and whatnot. He still had his fingers or his hands in each and every pot, in each and every department. He was running a tight ship, but he was getting sick and he didn't know what was wrong with him. He didn't know what was wrong with him. Yes, he built the company from scratch, from ground upwards, but he didn't realize that no, man, I now can loosen my grip, and focus on other things, focus on what founders focuses on. He wanted to be involved in every decision. No changes could be made without him being involved. Even though he had a CFO, he had a COO, and managers and general managers and all of that, he still wanted to be involved as if the business was still fresh, it was still young. And he got sick, and no doctor could find out what was wrong with him. Then he went to Dr. Vincent Peale, and he had a conversation with Dr. Vincent Peale. And he told him that, no, man, at my work, nothing can go right when I'm not there, and I need to be there, and all of that, and all of that. And he was like to him, but look, you wanting to control everything, it's making you sick. You are not functioning well. And who knows, even the decisions that you're making are from a sane person. Who knows that the decisions that you're making are not going to harm your company in the next coming years or in the next coming few months because of your head is not clear. And this guy was adamant, man. He was busy. He was even pacing around in his office to say, no, man, tell me what's wrong with me. Tell me, it might be psychological or what or whatever. And Dr. Vincent said to him, come, man, let's take a drive. Let's take a drive. And they took a drive to the cemetery. And when they got to the cemetery, he said to him, just read about 20 headstones of obviously the people that have passed away. Just read on those 20 headstones and come back to me. I'll wait for you in the car. Just come back to me and let's talk about it. I'll ask you questions. He did exactly that, this guy, this CEO/founder. He did exactly that. I know the story is a bit off and I'm just paraphrasing it according to what I remember. He did exactly that. And he came back to him and he asked him to say, did you see any headstone that said CEO, or we will miss the way you were running the company? And the answer was no. There's nothing like that. I didn't see that. All I saw was families messaging that we will miss your presence, we will miss who you are, we will miss your contribution as a husband, as a father, not as a builder of the business, not as a person that wanted to control everything. And he was like, exactly. The company will still go on even in your absence. Take some few days off. And the book says he took 30 days off. First time ever. He took time off. He retreated. And all he was allowed to read was the Bible. He retreated. And guess what? His illness that he didn't know what was wrong with him, he was healed. He was okay. He became okay. He became functional again. His mind became as lethal as a weapon. He found clarity in sitting still. I know that as sitting still, man, it's something that is very, very bizarre, or it's not something that we think is productive. But the Bible says, be still, and know that I'm God. Be still. Meaning that retreat. Stop busying yourself. Stop wanting to be in control of everything. Ask yourself, what is this me being wanting to control everything? How does it affect other people? Yes, for you, it gives you fulfillment that I'm the boss. They can't go on without me. But ask yourself, how does it affect other people? How does it impact other people? Does it impact them positively, or does it impact them negatively? You will find that it impacts them negatively. Remember the story of Jesus? He always healed a crowd. He healed people, large crowds. People would come to him with questions after he preached a sermon. You know how tiring it is to deliver a sermon, and then you still have to answer people's questions, and you still have to pray for people? It's exhausting, it's tiring, because it requires you to tap into another level in order for you to get the message that God is bringing to you. And Jesus always withdrew. He would heal people, he would heal the crowds, preach to the crowds, and withdraw. He always wanted to find, he always would look for those pockets, small pockets, that to say, man, to tell Matthew and to tell John to say, I'm just retreating. I'm just going for prayer. He stepped away from applause. He stepped away from demand because everybody wanted a piece of him. He stepped away from needs, other people's needs. Man, if Jesus needed to withdraw so that he can refill his cup, so that he can refill that anointing that God deposited in him, my question is, why do you think you don't need to retreat? Why do you think you have to be everything to everybody? Think about that. If God rested after his creation, and remember, God created once, and every creation that he created had the ability to multiply itself. And then after that, he retreated. He took rest to see the goodness that he had created. His son came to this world and he healed people. Miracles came through him. He didn't perform miracles. Miracles came through him. A performance is something that is rehearsed. So I think. I could be wrong, but so I think. Miracles came through him. And people were healed according to their faiths, or according to their faith. And after he did that, he withdrew. And why do you think you don't have to withdraw? Remember, the Bible does say in Psalms 23, it says, He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me beside still waters and restores my soul. Still waters are not rushing waters. No, it's not the waters that are on the falls, Falls, like you can even feel when the falls fall. I remember when we took a trip to Victoria Falls a couple of years ago. When you approach the falls, you could hear them from a distance. And even, I don't know what it's called, but the residue maybe from the falls would catch you a distance away. But still waters, you have to get close to them. You have to get close to them because they are not chaotic water. No, they are not chaotic water. They don't even make noise. This is why restoration happens in stillness, not in striving, but in stillness. Be still. Take time to be still. Remove yourself from the chaos around you. Remove yourself and just retreat and sit still. Because I'm telling you, restoration will never happen in stillness. If restoration would happen in stillness, then people that are on a battlefield, for example, would be treated right there on the battlefield. But because when you recover or when you need restoration, you need to be alone in a way. You need to be still. You need to go to hospital, for example. You must see, hospitals are never chaotic. They are only chaotic when it gets to ER. But once they move you and they stabilize you, they admit you. For you to get restored, they take you to admission. And there's never chaos at admission because they understand that you need restoration. And I want you to think about this. When you imagine taking a full hour to rest, what thought comes up? What do you think about? What are the thoughts that come up in your mind? For example, the thoughts that normally come up to my mind is, I should be doing something better right now. I'm wasting time. I should be somewhere right now. I am behind. I'm behind schedule. I should be doing this. I should be doing my homework. I should be doing this for the business. I should be going out there and advertising for Rebuild and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot. I'm behind. But man, I just want to tell you this to say, look, those thoughts are not the truth. They are just conditioning. And I'm going to say to you, have them written down. One guilt thought at a time. One guilt thought at a time. Have them written down. That thought that says I should be doing something, write it down. And replace it. Replace it with this affirmation, maybe, to say my worth is not measured by my output. No, you're worth more than that. Remember when this video started, I did say that we are so programmed to say that we are made to feel, or we were made to feel worthy by the things that we used to do. And we forget that by just being in this world, God has shown you how much worthy you are, and you don't have to prove to anyone. I want you to reflect on this, right? And once you reflect on this, you will notice every time you think about these things, you will notice that you are actually wasting your time in a way. You are actually pushing and you're not being pulled. Ask yourself, how often do I rush? What am I rushing for? How often do I check my phone? Whether I have a text or whether I have a notification. How often do I feel behind? And that's a big one. How often do I feel behind? Because we all feel like I should be somewhere. I should be somewhere. Have we ever asked ourselves, who told me that I'm behind? Who ever said to me, Thabo, you are behind? Thabo, you are not where you're supposed to be? Who told you that? And when you think about it, you will see that, man, maybe, just maybe, I've been pressurizing myself, thinking that I'm behind. Ask yourself that question. Who told me that I am behind? And behind what exactly? Behind with what exactly? I'm going to ask you to schedule rest. Let it be a non-negotiable with yourself. Schedule rest. And this is how I started to schedule rest when I started doing this work, to say, man, you need to make time to rest. And this is an exercise that I want you to maybe do, or to maybe employ, just to choose one 30-minute window this week, not every day, this week. Just take one, just that step. Choose a 30-minute window this week. Schedule it in your diary, or set an alarm on your phone to say, on Wednesday at 7 o'clock, or whatever time that you choose, you're going to take 30 minutes just to rest. And during that 30 minutes, you must tell yourself, put it also there on your diary, or on your appointment book, or even on your calendar, to say, no productivity is allowed. No planning is allowed. No problem solving is allowed. I'm just going to sit outside. If you find that your house might be busy, or there's people inside the house, walk slowly. Take a walk. Take a walk outside. If you have a big yard, or you stay in a farm, or you stay in a complex, or you stay in an estate, wherever you are, take a walk and walk slowly. Leave your phone at home. Leave your earpieces at home, your headsets at home. Leave them. Don't listen to anything. Just listen to your thoughts. Just be still. Pray without asking for anything. Just have a thanksgiving prayer. Pray without asking anything. Pray without complaining to God. Pray without begging God for anything. Just go to Him with a thanksgiving prayer. Thank Him for that moment. Thank Him for the solutions that He has brought to you. Breathe. Take a breather. Take deep breaths as you walk. Or you can choose to let that 30 minutes be your breath work. Breathe. Breathe in. Count maybe up to 60 and breathe out. That's you being still. And just be. Just be. Just be yourself. Just be in your company. Just be in your company. And there you will be practicing existing without earning. Because remember what we said when we started. We always earn the pat at the back because of, we did this, you did that, you showed up like this, you showed up like that, you helped with this, you did this, everybody was looking for you. You were everything to everybody except to yourself. Just rest and be yourself and be okay with it. Move away from that programming that says you are only worthy or you are only worth it when you do this or when you do something. And if you cannot rest, it means that your identity is tied up in usefulness. But guess what? Usefulness is not the same as worth. It's not. You are valuable because you exist, not because you produce. No, no. And that's why a lot of people, even though they are high producing individuals, you find them not being fulfilled, not being happy with even the good results that they're getting. They're getting big results more than an average person, but they're not happy with those results because they have not learned to sit down and relax and look back at what they have been able to do or at what God has allowed them to do. Don't be that person that ties down their worth or their identity to usefulness. Don't be that person. You are valuable because you exist, not because you produce. And just remember, if you rebuild from exhaustion, you are just building another life that is fragile. That's it. Imagine a builder coming to extend your house or to build at your house, and they are exhausted. Do you think that the tools that they have to use in order for them to put that lane or that layer of bricks, do you think that they will be accurate? Do you think that your wall will be straight? You don't have any, don't be squints or whatever. Do you think that it will be purely straight? No, because they are not accurate, because they are exhausted. Your building will now be fragile. And when you rebuild, man, I bet you don't want to waste your time to keep going back and to break certain levels of your building. Because of once you rebuild and you rebuild from exhaustion, believe you me, your life is going to be fragile. And every time when whatever happens, when the winds come, because your building is fragile, your body is fragile, yourself is fragile, you'll be taken by those winds. You'll find yourself not having a backbone to withstand certain things. And those certain things maybe are the ones that have broken you previously, or that they have broken your relationship previously. And now you're rebuilding from exhaustion from them. You are not getting rid of them. You're just rebuilding on top of the rubble. That's exactly it. Rebuilding on top of the rubble. And not saying, I'm going to clean out this rubble and check the cornerstones that were rejected before and use them to beautify this building or to make this building to stand. Then your building will be, your rebuild will be fragile. And you don't want a fragile rebuild. But if you rebuild from rest, you will build with clarity. You will be a builder that has ideas. You will be a builder that is able to recognize those chief cornerstones that you are going to use. You will be able to see the parts or the bricks that were rejected and turn them into beautiful art of the building and make them the ones that actually attract other things. Make them the ones that people see or people get attracted to. To say, That brick, I saw it in this previous person. This brick, it's the one that actually made this building, you being the building. The Bible says our bodies are the temple of God, meaning that our bodies are built and we have to build ourselves inside out. And even people will be able to say, he's rebuilt. It looks different and it looks attractive. And the thing that looks attractive on this rebuild, it is the bricks that were rejected. It is the same thing that this person failed from. I was having a conversation with my daughter today. I was telling her about the story that God decided to use me with, because she's been having some challenges with it, with what I'm sharing out there. And so I just gave her an opportunity to ask whatever questions that she has, to raise her concerns. And I was telling her that, I'm sorry for embarrassing you with my story. And believe you me, I also get embarrassed sometimes because of the things that I am talking about regarding my story are literally things that I'm supposed to be ashamed of. But God is using exactly that thing that I'm supposed to be ashamed of, which is divorce and the life that led to my divorce. And I'm like, God has decided to use this part of me so that I can show other people that it's possible to rebuild, that you can use your divorce as actually your starting point and a place of love. And I was telling her that, yes, do I regret the things that I did? 100% I regret them. But I didn't know better. Now I know better. And I'm helping others that don't know better so that they can look at my story, the most embarrassing part of my story, to say, hey, man, you can always come back. You don't have to feel the shame that comes with divorce. You don't have to feel like a failure that is brought by divorce. You don't have to give up. You don't have to lose your identity to who you were in that marriage. And you can come back from anything. And that's what happens when you rebuild from rest. You rebuild from clarity to understand that, man, this my rebuild, it's not only for me, it's from other people to benefit from it. Remember, stability includes rest. Peace is productivity. I just remembered now that even when I have a problem at work and there's just chaos around this problem, the client maybe is fuming and throwing their toys and whatnot, and you find that no one has a solution at that point in time. I always ask my colleagues, I would ask my team leader and my manager to say, guys, just give me some time. Give me some time. Let me just go outside and take a walk around the block. Just removing myself from chaos and just going outside to be still. Do I know what the solution is going to be when I go outside? No. But I know that I'm going to get clarity. I'm removing myself from chaos to get clarity, to clear my head. And by the time I come back, sometimes I walk in the building without a solution, not even knowing what's going to happen. But what I know is that when I walk out, I always say, God, help me with this. I summon infinite intelligence to bring ideas to me. And that only happens when you remove yourself from the chaos in order for you to hear the instructions or to hear the answer from God. And I bet you 10 out of 10, By the time I press that lift and I select the floor where we work, when we are in the office, by the time I get to my desk, even sometimes, just as I sit, then the solution. I don't have control over how it comes. I don't know how it comes, but it just comes. And that is from stillness, not from chaos. That's from stillness. And sometimes you'll find them asking me, where have you been? This guy has been screaming and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot. And I'll just tell them, let me call the client. I have a solution for them, for the client. And that solution, I don't even discuss with anybody. I just talk about it when I'm talking to the client, giving it to the client. And you find that the solution is very suitable for the client. But had I discussed it with someone that is still stuck in that chaos and their mind is chaotic, they will want to put holes into that solution that I bring because they did not find grounding for themselves. But for the client, when you present it, then you find that they find stillness. Remember, stability includes rest, and peace is productive. Remember, this is a month of love. It was Valentine's Day the other day, and we're not rushing this month. No, we're not rushing this month. If we operate under love, love brings peace. Peace brings stillness. Stillness brings stability. Stability brings flow. You know, we are not in a rush this month. We are rebuilding properly. We're rebuilding properly. Man, just want to thank you again for being here and for allowing us to talk to you and for lending us an ear. And we hope that you benefited from this video. Man, if there's just something that you got out of this video, I'm going to ask you to share it with other people so that they can also benefit. And if you're looking to rebuild your life and you don't know where to start, we've created 6 simple steps that you can follow. You can download it on www.rebuildwiththabo.com. It's free of charge. There is no charge for it. Just go to that website, put in your email address, and once you've put in your email address, it will be sent to you. And there would be instructions also on how to use it. Go and download it. It will be beneficial to you. I know it has helped a lot of people, men and women, that had lost hope after divorce, that had lost hope after loss, that had lost hope after being fired, that didn't know how to find their purpose in life. Purpose far beyond what they do for their 9 to 5. Go there. Go download it. It will help you. I used it. I still use it even today. www.rebuildwiththabo. And remember to like and subscribe on this video if you find that it was very helpful for you. Welcome back to the Rebuild with Thabo. We hope you got something out of this video. Thank you.